Good morning, everyone. It's Holly from the Urban Homesteader, and today I'm with our newest addition and newest character to the homestead. This is Trudy, and it's not just Trudy, but it's Trudy. She has a little bit of an attitude, so we're gonna name her appropriately. So if ever you are talking about Trudy, you have to say it with a little bit of spice, okay? She's already done a great job. She scared the bejeebers out of me this morning when I was in the kitchen and did a quick little glance out here at the garden and thought I saw a human standing here, so she has already scared me. Which doesn't take much often. Anyway, today we're going to do a quick little recap in the garden, and I wanted to show you all the things that have happened. So some of the things that we're going to be talking and showing you today are the potatoes. The potatoes went gangbuster, and I've already started to put some of the soil back onto them, but not all of it because some of it didn't grow as quickly as the other end, so we're going to show you that. Let's see, I planted some beans. They are called dragon's tongue beans. They're cool, purple, long, weird looking beans, but I'm kind of excited because I like to have unusual things in my garden. But I planted those like a week and a half ago, and they have already gone crazy. Like, maybe it's been longer, but it hasn't been long. They're coming up wonderfully, so I wanted to show you that. And then, we need to talk about my asparagus. So I'm just kind of disappointed in my asparagus. I really don't know what I did wrong, but I have had no results with that, so I pulled out the roots today, and I think we're going to try for a redo. I have two options. I could replant the roots, or I could plant from seed, and I really want to get those roots planted because they're 2-year-old roots, which means that we should be able to harvest asparagus 2 years sooner than I could with the seeds. So I'm going to just try again and try it a little bit differently. I'm going to do less roots in there and just see what happens. And we'll talk about that when we get in there. But then I just kind of wanted to give you a little recap. I've got some tomatoes already growing. I've got fruit growing. I've got some bell peppers already growing. Looks like I have a pest of some sort. I'm going to have to research and see what's going on there. But I really was just excited to show you guys how quickly things can change in the garden when maintaining it properly. So let's go. Okay, you guys, so we are standing at my potato, kohlrabi, and radish bed. This is the largest bed that I have in this garden. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of what's happening in this particular garden, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the seed tape. I know I had mentioned it before. I used my carrots and radishes with seed tape, and I just wanted to show you because I don't think I did that. I just want to show you what the seed tape looks like. So again, it's just like a seed packet like normal, but up here it says seed tape on it, so you know that this is what's in there, and this is what it looks like. It's so easy. That's it. Seed tape. Looks pretty obvious, right? So the seeds are right in the middle of this tiny little strip. You dig a little bit of a trench, you put the seed tape down, you cover it with soil, and you throw some water on it, and voila, you get radishes, which, look at that. I mean, they kind of came up quickly, which is what radishes do. Again, if you're a beginner and you're looking for almost immediate results, beans and radishes, it's the way to go. But also, if you're a savvy gardener, I see nothing wrong at all with using seed tape. The benefit of the seed tape is the thinning is what you don't have to really worry about. Maybe a little bit. I'll show you guys the carrots in a little bit, but my radishes are just going crazy, and they look great. So anyway, just wanted to share that little bit of information with you. As I had mentioned earlier, we are going to finish putting the soil on the rest of these potatoes. So the big directions say that you have to wait for these to come up 8 inches. These particular 2 clumps right here were definitely at 8 inches. So a few days ago I threw some of the soil on, but also knew I wanted to kind of show you the process. So it's really not that difficult. I'm going to throw my garden gloves on here, and we're just going to finish off this part of it. And then I need to think about, what am I going to do in this empty space here? So I kind of already have a plan. I think I'm going to throw some lettuce down. I don't have any lettuce planted yet. And the kind that I have is called a butter crunch lettuce. And I know that this is one of Pat's favorites. So you're supposed to sow in early spring through fall, so it really doesn't matter. And it's a 65-day, I think, right? Maturity is 65 days. So I think we're going to give it a shot. This too has days to emerge, 5 to 10 days. It's like hardly any time at all. So by next week I'm going to have little baby lettuce, which is kind of cool. So, and I have a salad spinner that I hardly ever use, so I'll get that out of the storage room in the garage. So we're just going to kind of take this extra soil and put it around so that these potatoes can start getting bigger. That's kind of the goal. And after I'm done doing this, I'm going to throw some water on it, of course. But this is it. It's pretty easy. So, and this is just the leftover soil from when I dug the trench out earlier. So, I'm just kind of putting it back. It turns out that I have started a kind of a purple garden this year. So these were purple potatoes, if you remember that. The beans that I planted are dragon's tongue, and those are purple and green. And then I got some purple bell peppers. So I wasn't even planning on that happening, but it did. So, but I love that because it's kind of cool and unusual. So that's it, you guys. Let's kind of pat it down. So obviously some didn't take. I have a spot here and down here, a couple of in there. But you know what? That's okay. These are going to be more than enough potatoes for Pat and I. And this is all part of the learning process. So check it out. I'm going to have all this space here. That's where my lettuce is going to go. Soon to be salad. Cool, huh? Okay. I'm going to show you guys the beans. Okay, you guys, here's a shot of the bean garden that I planted. So I found these beans in my pantry, the seeds anyway, and just thought, why not throw them in there? So I did a little research, though, before I threw them in there, just so I knew what I was planting. Because I know that beans are quick to produce, and I had this extra space, and I had the seeds. I thought, well, why not throw them in there? But I thought this was kind of fun. So let's see here. I'm reading from my phone some information. It's a Dutch heirloom bean dating back from the 19th century. And here's what it says. The tender and super bly, delicious 7-inch pods are yellow with amazing purple streaks. It also makes for tasty shelled bean. The compact plant set high yields, and with its quick growth, superior flavor, and eye appeal, these beans are a must to grow. They are especially beloved in kids' gardens and very popular with chefs and gourmets. So, you know, why not? Why not throw them in there? So I thought it was kind of cool. 60 days before they're completely mature. They need full sun. They sprout in 7 to 14 days. So, like I said, very, very quick to pop through. And then so easy to plant. So 1/2 inch to 1 inch, I just poke my finger in the soil, and the spacing is about 4 inches. So as you can see, I'm going to have a lot of beans. But I wanted to also show you the seeds, what the seeds look like. So that's what they, you know, nothing crazy. But that's it. From that to that. Kind of cool. And this cute little garden rock came from my neighbor girl, Kaisa. She brings me things like this all the time. So I thought, why not throw it in my garden? She said that this would be the perfect spot for it. So here it is. That's kind of cute, though. She visits me often, and I'm trying to turn her into a little gardener. So, okay, there's the beans. As long as I've got the handheld here, I'm going to kind of just go through, show you guys what else is happening. So this is the onions and carrots. You can see the onions are doing wonderfully. The carrots are just little babies yet, and they're coming along, but slow process. And again, that was a seed tape. There's more of a line here that you can kind of see. But anyway, it'll happen. And then I've got my, let's see, what do we have here? This is my Brussels sprouts and cilantro over here. My garlic and jalapenos and more hot peppers. Pat thought we didn't have enough peppers, so he got more, and we put them in pots just because we ran out of soil space. I'm going to hop over here to this back one. This is where I have that pest. This is my bell peppers. And most of them are doing great, but you can see this one, not so much. And then I've got tiny little peppers on there. I don't know if you guys can see them, but it's kind of cool that they're on there. There's some flowers on there anyway. And then I just don't know what's eating these leaves, so I got to figure that out. But I did notice over here, ooh, a giant bee. Where is it? Oh, there it is. On the Big Bertha. There's a pepper. So I must be doing something right. So again, more of an overview. And then behind me, I have the asparagus that I'm going to redo. Anyway, those are the roots. Those are that pink slip is my notes, but I did everything that I wanted to, so we got to figure that out. And then, of course, more tomatoes. Pat found some more tomatoes that he thought we needed, and we planted those in here as well, and everything's doing really, really well, so we're excited about that. So I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to redo this asparagus, and you guys can watch me see if I'm doing anything right or wrong. Okay, so we are now in the asparagus bed that we are going to redo. So I brought in more soil, dug a new trench. It's supposed to be 8 to 10 inches. That's where I'm at, and the reason I know that is because my handy dandy garden tool has a stake on it. This is 6 inches, and it is about, I'm right there. So I know that that's right. We're going to do a head-to-toe method, and I'll get my gloves on and I'll talk to you guys about that. So this is a crown of asparagus roots. These are the roots, this is the crown. It's really just all one and the same. You can see that there's some like heads that's going to be where the spears come up from. So they call this the head, this is the toes, so you just kind of plant it head to toe. So I'm just going to do that. Put one down. There are a couple of different ways you could do this. This is what is recommended by the U of M Extension. Since I'm a master gardener, those are the rules that I like to abide by. However, that's what I followed last time, and it didn't work. So we're going to give it another go. Maybe it was the trough method. I don't know. We're going to try it. I also watered the soil a little bit more in hopings that was going to be the case. And I don't think I'm going to be able to use all of these. But these are, like I said before, these are 2-year-old roots, which in theory means that I should be able to get asparagus a lot sooner than I would if I did seed. So that's why I'm so anxious to get this to work. And it looks like, actually, I'm going to replace the small one with the big one. This one does have 2 tiny little sprouts on it, so it was working. But I looked at my phone, and to see when I had planted this the first time, it's been like 8 weeks. So this is not okay. They should have been already up above ground by now. So something just wasn't right, but we're going to keep trying. Okay. I'm going to do another big one. And I think that's going to be it. Spread them out a little bit, give them even more space. It says 2 to 3 inches of dirt on top. That should be it. And then when that comes through, then we keep on layering it. I always feel like it's kind of like lasagna with the soil. I'm going to give this a little bit of water. Cross my fingers and hope that this one works. That's about it for the asparagus bed. We can't really do much more. I'm not going to sit here and watch it grow because that would be completely a waste of my time. Although it is tempting because I just want to see some progress with this, but I got to just move on. So we are going to now go into the lettuce bed, and we're going to plant some lettuce. And then I think we're going to call it a day in the garden. Let's go. Okay, so we are back at the potato, kohlrabi, radish, soon to be lettuce bed. So I drew a little thin line. This stuff is, so small. I'm not even going to use my gardening gloves because they're just going to be cumbersome and in the way. So this says a group of 3 seeds every 6 inches, and row spacing is 8 inches. So I'm pretty good for the row spacing. And then you thin it when it's a 1/2 inch tall. And there's no way that I'm not counting out 3 of these tiny little seeds. So I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle, I guess. I don't even know how to describe these. These are so small. It's like a 1/2 of a caraway seed. So there is no way that one person can do. Oh, let me count out 3 seeds. Actually, here's 3 right here as I gripe about it a little bit. So I'm just going to sprinkle this down the row. I don't even know if I'm going to get all the way down the row. I might. Lettuce can be kind of fun too to plant. We've done this in the past in a different garden space, and gosh, there's so many different varieties. And then I also got, last year I signed up to do a CSA because I didn't have this garden. And man, we were lucky enough to get all sorts of varieties of lettuce. So here's what happened with that. We ended up with all this lettuce. So I tried real hard to mark the bags and tell me what kind it was, but there was a lot that we didn't like. A lot of it was kind of bitter. But guess what? Now I can't remember which ones those were. So we're kind of starting over with the lettuce situation. Whatever, that's fine. This is what's this one called? Butter Crunch. I know Pat has had this in the past, and I know he likes it on his sandwiches. So it's like a soft, not chewy, but I don't know, it's just a soft lettuce. It's very different than iceberg. But it's good. It's real sweet. Non-bitter. That's what the goal is here. Geez, I might have enough for the whole row. How fun. I'll probably go back and just go over what I've done already. Now I'm afraid I'm going to end up doing a whole bunch of thinning, which isn't my most favorite thing to do. But also, you have to thin, because if you don't, your produce will not be able to grow as good as you want it to, and then you're going to be disappointed. So keep that in mind. A lot of people have a hard time with thinning because they feel bad. You know, they think that they're killing all of these plants. Well, in a way, I guess you are, but you have to give the ones that are doing well, you have to give them enough room to grow, and you want to be able to eat it. So thinning is important. Don't let that job slip through the cracks. Let's see, I've got a little bit more here. Remind me of this when I'm out here later and I have to thin and I'm complaining about it. Maybe it won't be so bad. I don't know. All right, we're going to call that good. There you go. Planted some lettuce. What did that take? 2 minutes? So gardening can be fun and easy, you guys. It's just a matter of wanting it bad enough. That's it for today. It's a beautiful day on a weekend here. So we are going to take full advantage of that. It's not even noon yet, and we are going to have some fun for the day. Now that this is all done, I am going to do some watering real quick. That won't take long. And then it's off to have some fun in the sun. So make sure you like and share, subscribe, do all those things. Talk to your gardening friends. Let them know that this is happening. Have them watch too. And if they have some questions, or if you guys have questions, put them in the comments. It's always fun to know what you guys are wondering. So I'll try to, keep on doing those recaps. And that's going to be it for the day. We will see you next time.